A New York judge has dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in the high-profile killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. But second-degree murder charges remain, keeping Mangione's state trial alive. Judge Gregory Carro ruled that, while the December 2024 killing was not an ordinary street crime, state law does not equate ideology-driven violence with terrorism unless the intent is to intimidate or coerce a broader civilian population. Mangione, 27, an Ivy League graduate, appeared in court for the first time in months, wearing beige prison clothes and handcuffs. Pretrial hearings are now scheduled for December 1st, just days before his federal case resumes. Prosecutors allege Mangione shot Thompson from behind outside the New York Hilton Midtown during an investor conference, citing surveillance footage and ammunition marked with words like delay, deny, and depose. The case has drawn a fervent following. Supporters dressed in green, referencing Nintendo's Luigi character, cheered outside the courthouse. Some held signs reading "Free Luigi," celebrating the dropped terrorism charges. Federal prosecutors continue to pursue a separate case, which carries the death penalty. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi described the killing as a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. Court filings reveal Mangione's diary and manifesto, which reference Unabomber Kaczynski and criticized the health insurance industry. He allegedly wrote that killing Thompson conveys a greedy bastard that had it coming, and in a note to federal authorities, he stated it had to be done. Defense attorneys argue that facing both state and federal charges amounts to double jeopardy, calling it a legal quagmire. Judge Carro rejected that claim, noting the cases involve different legal theories. While terrorism charges have been dropped at the state level, Luigi Mangione's legal battles are far from over. The upcoming pretrial hearings in his ongoing federal case ensure the story remains in the spotlight. Earlier, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro slammed supporters of Luigi Mangione.
The suspect was just arraigned here in the courthouse, and presumably New York will file charges very, very soon. That process will continue to play out, and justice will be delivered in this case. This case is hinged on attention. In fact, the attention in this case and the killing of Brian Thompson was helpful, no doubt, in allowing us to capture this killer, in alerting that individual at McDonald's this morning, and then having that individual contact police. But some attention in this case, especially online, has been deeply disturbing, as some have looked to celebrate instead of condemning this killer. Brian Thompson was a father to two. He was a husband, and he was a friend to many. And yes, he was the CEO of a health insurance company. In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint.
Within several seconds of the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently, and that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect. He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question, and he didn't really answer it directly. So that statement alone really said a lot, and the suspect didn't have to say a lot after that question to show that he was very nervous at that point.
He was very cooperative with us. Didn't really give us too many issues. Once we found out his identity, we took it from there.
So there are a lot of things that need to be followed up yet in this investigation. Certainly, there were a number of items that were found on his person, in his backpack, that have been inventoried, and we've begun to do an analysis of some of those. There were written documents. There are electronic devices that are in the process of being downloaded. Search warrants are obtained. And we know that he has been in Pennsylvania, excuse me, for several days. And so part of that investigation will also focus on trying to retrace his steps. We've already identified businesses, for example, that he frequented in this area and activities that he engaged in. That led us to more evidence. And so all of that is becoming kind of a mountain of evidence that has to be analyzed and looked at. I'm confident we'll have a much better idea of his activities over the past number of days in New York and in Pennsylvania.